Hi everyone, welcome to the Legend of Zelda, a Link to the Past boss guide, woohoo! Alright, so I finally got around to making this. Okay, so we're gonna have all bosses. This is gonna be split up into two parts, so let's start, shall we? Alright, the first boss is Armos Knights. Okay, so here we go. When you walk into the room, they'll be motionless. It's actually a pretty easy boss fight. Then you just want to shoot arrows. Now, I want to point out you can use your sword on them. However, that takes much longer than 3 arrows. So basically just spam arrows at them. You should have enough. And if you do run out, well, you're probably going to have to restart. Or you'll just use your sword then. Alright, so once you get down to the last two, try to do 2 on the other one. However, 3 arrows isn't that much, so you can hit the last one with your sword or with arrows and then grab it. Alright, on to boss number 2, Lanmolas. Alright, there are 3 large Lanmolas in here. So, alright, they'll pop out. You can use arrows against them, and you gotta time it right. That's the hard part, okay? Using arrows is probably a way better method to do it, especially for the last one because of the way the rocks point out. So the rocks go in northeast, northwest, southwest, and then southeast. So that's the way the rocks go for the first 3. So just remember that, and you can stand directly below one of them and then hit them. They do quite a bit of damage when you're when you actually run into them. The Lanmolas themselves. The rocks, however, don't. So, and you see there, I got around to hitting him with the arrow, and you have to time that so perfectly, and it's just so annoying, but it works. I mean, if you can get it for the last one, it works very well. So I suggest at least trying it to see if you can time it right. So, and then I get him again, so that makes me happy because, and in my walkthrough, if you watch that, obviously you saw that I was not able to get them. So another bonus is that if you can get both of them at the same time, you don't even have to worry about the 8 directions of the rocks. So the rocks will shoot out in 8 directions with the last one here, as you'll see. And yeah, try to time arrows at it. It's much easier that way. So yeah, not much else to say about this one. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Alright. So, then you can pick the heart container up, and we'll move on to the next one. Alright. Moldorm. Woohoo! Yes, my favorite boss. Actually, no. This is one of my least favorite bosses. I found a great way to defeating him, though, because I actually just tried this out myself. This is called the stab technique. Alright. Hold out your sword as if you're going to do a sword spin, and then just walk up the stab. These also work. This also works great against the regular Moldorm. Or you can also use the spin attack if, you trap him or something like that. But otherwise, the stab technique works actually very well, and I was surprised at how well it worked here. You see, I almost fell off there. It was very close, but I was able to get him with that stab technique, and I highly suggest you try it out too, because it works. So, because you aren't going to bounce off as far, and then as soon as I beat him, I almost fell off there too. Alright, so he will explode. Let's move on to number 4, shall we? 4th boss of the game is Agahnim. Yes, I'm counting Agahnim fights as bosses, even though you don't get heart containers for him. So, alright, this guy, pretty simple. He'll shoot 3 different rays. The first one is orange, blue, and white. Hit it back at him. And this is the one you want to hit back at him. It's a lot like if you played Ocarina of Time, the Ganondorf and Shadow Ganon. Just like those. Alright, this blue beam now, just dodge it entirely, unless, if you're on the sides of it, it's fine. But, if you see a blue beam coming, just let it hit the wall and then dodge the offspring, because that's much easier. Now, if he goes up in the middle, he'll shoot lightning. Remember that. Middle, get to the side. Just main thing, because that does the most damage. Otherwise, if you see him shoot blue, try not to move while you're hitting it. I ran into a couple problems here. Or if you see him shoot the orange one, because you will sometimes not shoot it straight back at him, and I don't know why that is. I mean, it is kind of hard to get it right back at him. And if he would stop shooting blues, I would be able to get a hit on him. I hate that when this boss will just continually spam blues like he is right there in the video. That is probably my least favorite part about this. But remember, top to the sides because there is lightning coming. Alright? Other than that, you should not have much of a problem with this guy. Geez, I can't really think of anything else to say, and there's a little bit more of the boss battle left. It takes 6 hits, so 6 hits of his own beam. And, so yeah, I should mention that. And then, of course, after you defeat him, you won't get a heart piece, but you will be taken to the Dark World, and you will be able to explore the Dark World. Ooh, I just hit the microphone there, sorry about that. So he will transport you there. And, yeah, so, hurry up. Oh, I missed him. Alright, I'm pretty sure this ends soon, so, okay, maybe not. Yep, we got it here. Alright, just hit it back at him, and there we go. He will turn blue, and he will start to talk. Blah, 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 you stupid wizard. And then he will send you to the Dark World. Alright, let's move on to number 5, shall we? King Helmasaur, or Helmasaur King, I'm sorry. I have a lot of trouble with this boss, and I don't know why. This is the first boss in the Dark World. It should be easy, shouldn't it? Well, you can use your hammer or bombs to break off his shield. Bombs are a little bit harder to time, however, they only take 3 to break off his shield, where the hammer takes multiple hits. Now, if you notice these fireballs here, you are actually able to dodge them by just going in the middle, like a little bit below the first one, and then in the middle of all 3 of them, like as if you were in the middle of a triangle. So remember that, and after 3 bombs, his face shield will blow off here, and I try to dodge it. Oh yes, okay. So there are actually 2 parts to this boss. Yeah, the Dark World really starts to get into 2 parts there. So if you get him while he's starting to shoot one, he will stop shooting it. Now, you can hit his gem with arrows. I highly suggest this so you can stay far away from this bad boy. Of course, it is much easier to hit him with your sword. So, either way, use arrows if he's starting to shoot fireballs. And, yeah, the fireballs shouldn't be too much of a problem to throw. Or to dodge. Alright, so finally, let's move on to the 6th boss here. Make sure you grab the heart container. And the 6th boss is Arrghus. Yes. Very fun boss fight. Getting my words mixed up. Yes, very fun boss fight. I love fighting this boss, and it is relatively easy. You just want to watch out when he starts to spin really fast. And then when you're pulling his little clouds off, at all costs, avoid, going to the bottom of the screen, because they will land on top of you and actually hurt you, which is my pet peeve of this battle, because if you bring them down, make sure you move back, even to the side sometimes. You're going to want to move the opposite direction as soon as it gets over. Otherwise, it's just going to be, they'll hit you, and it hurts, and it's, annoying. Alright, so another 2-part boss battle. I think, pretty much every boss in the Dark World has a 2-part boss battle, except for the next 2, and then the 3rd one is kind of 2 parts, except it's the same basically with just harder difficulty. But yeah, Arrghus should not be too much of a problem. It goes from pretty hard from Helmasaur King, unless I just am terrible at this game, because I don't know if they meant to make it so hard. I thought it's supposed to be easy, but I find some of the later ones much easier. So now on a second form, he's gonna go into like a ping pong fashion around the room. You can use arrows, however, I find it much easier to just use your sword. It'll be faster to use arrows, but your sword is a much better option because it's harder to time arrows. So you can use a couple arrows to get some good hits on him. Of course, you do have the Master Sword now, so you do a little bit more damage with it. Yeah, other than that, not much else to say about this guy. He's gonna go in ping pong fashion. It'll be in water, but it's not gonna affect you or anything. And hurry up and get rid of this guy. Come on. Oh, and he does a lot of damage when he hits you too. I forgot to mention that. So make sure he doesn't hit you when he's doing this ping pong thing, because he will do a lot of damage to you. Alright, there we go. So, that is the end of part 1 of this boss guide. Alright, so, watch for part 2, everyone. See ya.